Let me first congratulate and also thank you for the organizers. I'm congratulating because they are organizing a wonderful event of 75 years of Indian Constitution and inviting me to share some of my thoughts with you all. So, if before going to the discussion, yes, legal profession and legal education. As a law person, legal education and legal profession is influenced by 4 factors: globalization, liberalization, digitization, and Covidization. These 4 important factors which are influencing not only the legal education but also legal profession. You all know when I say globalization, I'm not going to the details of that, but this is what. Last one I said Covidization. It's a new term which is I'm using. I don't know whether I say kind discovered, but you don't find in dictionary. Why I'm telling is that Covidization influenced almost all industry, individuals, countries, but legal profession is no exception to that. Last 4 or 5 years, the kind of developments which we are witnessing, the kind of compulsions which we are witnessing because of COVID or COVID pandemic or Covidization, because of online e-courts and all those things. That's one. 3 important things I just would like to bring your notice that. One is the Indian Constitution, international law and Supreme Court. Today, we are talking about 75 years of Supreme Court, So one Indian Constitution, because you all know that Indian Constitution is the largest constitution having more than 400 articles plus 25 parts, 12 schedules, 100 plus amendments. So, but Supreme Court is the custodian for that. That's why I'm referring. So, second point, I just would like to draw your attention that up to now, Indian judiciary is influenced by, discussed most of the time, domestic cases relating to that. But friends, time is changing. Year after, I think, when I say Indian judiciary, whether it's a Supreme Court or various high courts are going to confront with, challenges posed by the international law or international treaty obligations. So that is one important thing. That's where I'm referring, Indian Constitution. If you look at just now, I mentioned that 400 plus articles, and out of that, there are certain articles which have directly, indirectly linked with international law, because 75 years story is different and next 25 years are going to be different. That's why I'm just, trying to mention, constitutional provisions relating to international law. Whole, broadly we can look at in 3 aspects. General, Article 51, it mentions, you all know that it's part of the Part 4th of the Constitution. It's a directive from the state constitution to the state that you have to do certain, follow certain principles relating to international law. That's why it says state, that is Indian government, Indian state. State shall endeavor for promotion of international peace and security. It has to follow peace and security, honorable relation, and more particularly Article 51C talks about international treaty obligations. Today, India is a party to international treaties of variety. We know any emerging area you take, India is a party. That's why what kind of obligations as a state India has to encounter. So part of that Indian judiciary, again I am referring Supreme Court of India and High Courts, developed a lot of jurisprudence. So that's why Article 51 Class 3 is important. It also mentioned about dispute settlement, including arbitration. Of course, it is gaining importance. This is one article which directly talks about that. Other, Indian executive also has some role to make and implement international treaty obligations based on Article 53, 73, 77 of the Constitution. Finally, being a parliamentary form of democracy, ultimate power lies with parliaments, where parliament has more power making and implementing international treaty obligation based on Article 245, 246, 248, along with 1997 and 253. These are all articles where, why I am referring is that last 75 years, Supreme Court of India is, interpreting and also developing lot of jurisprudence. That's why I am referring, these 3 aspects. Coming to the what kind of jurisprudence, Supreme Court of India evolved over the 75 years. Any emerging area you name, whether it's human rights, humanitarian law, refugee law, environmental law, trade law, intellectual property, all these international treaties where India is a party to that. When I say human rights, a lot of cases, whether it's a Vishaka versus, state of Rajasthan, many cases where our judiciary has interpreted, taking into the help of various international instruments like Universal Declaration of Human Rights, International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, International Covenant on Economic, Social, Cultural Rights, and so on. Same thing with the, environment. We all know that India evolved public, litigation, social interest litigation. Most of these, again, draw from international instruments like, when we say environment, both hard and soft law. When I say soft law, it is the non-binding in nature. Example, Stockholm Conference, Rio Conference, all these things. But there is a binding. So all these are all interpreted by, expanded by the Supreme Court from time to time. That's what I just want to, many areas. So that's why I think, Supreme Court has done a great job in evolving the jurisprudence relating to emerging areas of international law. But I can tell you again, next 25 years, we all know that Amrit Kal, India is marching towards from developing country to developed country, and again, third world country to third largest economy. So judiciary is going to play important role. It has to. That's why I think in the decades to come, years to come, I think, Supreme Court is going to evolve new jurisprudence based on international treaty obligations. So with this, I think, lot of speakers are there. But I looked at various topics. Most of the speakers are going to speak domestic related. I thought, just I bring these new things so that we can discuss all. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.